time to open up your eyes, 'cause we were made to fly. We can do anything. We'll shine like the sun, the moon, the stars. We can go anywhere. They'll see us no matter where we are, 'cause we got the fire. We got the fire. Show the world the impossible is possible. Show the world the impossible is possible. There's a moment when you understand. You don't gotta follow all the plans. It's time to open up your hands. There's a moment when you realize all the things they said were lies. It's time to open up your eyes, 'cause we were made to fly. We can do anything. We'll shine like the sun, the moon, the stars. We can go anywhere. They'll see us no matter where we are, 'cause we got the fire.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry about the extended intro this morning, but I left some important paperwork and I need to go back and get it. So thank you for joining me this morning as we recap our August 2022 Board of Education meeting that took place on yesterday. And so we have a lot to talk about. So we're going to jump right on into it. We're not going to waste no time today. We're going to jump right on into it. Let me just start with a few notes before we get into things that are happening in and around post 3. That's important, but we're going to jump right in. So yesterday or last month in July, I presented to the Board of Education to have the Lindley 6th Grade Academy renamed to the Betty Gray Middle School. We are repositioning that particular or repurposing that particular school. If you recall back a few years ago, we had the Riverside primary and the Riverside intermediate schools. And so we have changed those schools from K1 school and a 2-5 school to traditional K5 schools. And also part of that conversation was repositioning Lindley 6th Grade Academy from the 1-year school of just 6th grade to a 6th through 8 middle school, and also Lindley Middle School that sits on Veteran Memorial Highway to become a full 6th through 8 middle school as well. And that was going to help with some of the capacity concerns. If you may recall, the 6th Grade Academy is also a response to capacity concerns within our middle school grade levels. And so now we're at the place where we need to have 2 different middle schools. And so as a result, there's some things that are happening at the new Betty Gray Middle School, such as there's going to be some construction, some classroom additions, some renovations. so that next year when we begin the 6 through 8, the traditional 6 through 8 middle school model, the building will be positioned for the 3 grade levels, and so we're excited about the refresh of Lindley Middle School. If you've been here a long time, like I have, you may have attended Lindley Middle School, which is the 6th grade academy, and as I did, and so we're just excited to see it being refreshed and having some intentionality being put toward it in regards to making sure that it will be ready for our students next year. So we're excited about that, and so be on the lookout. That's happening, and so good deal. In addition to that, so we voted yesterday for Betty Gray Middle School to be renamed, and so that did pass 6-1. And it was interesting as we were after we voted, I went to check my mail, and I received a letter from former Governor Roy Barnes asking that we honor the legacy of Betty Gray by renaming the Lindley 6th grade academy. We have received overwhelming support from the community locally here in our area, as well as just Cobb County as a whole. And so it was exciting to see that I'm actually going to pass this letter on to Betty Gray's daughter, as I think she would love to have a copy of that. So that happened on yesterday. In addition to that, we were able to talk about milestones. So milestones have been released from last year, and that information, a report was shared with us in regards to how Cobb County is currently performing countywide as it relates to our neighboring school districts that are in comparable shape, size, and demographics and things. And so we're performing really well. We're excited about that. One of the things that came out of that conversation, board member Sharice Davis asked, how do parents get their children's milestones? Because I hadn't received mine. She hadn't received hers, Dr. Howard. So, it was a great conversation about what is coming in the next quarter, which is CTLS Parent. CTLS Parent, the teaching learning management software that we're currently using, there's a parent component that is getting ready to get rolled out. And we're excited about that because that's going to allow parents to have access to their entire child's portfolio, whether it is their assessments, their grades, everything concerning their child is going to be in this platform. And this is going to better help us to partner with our school district and with our teachers and educators in regards to ensuring that our children are getting the best education possible within the Cobb County School District. And so we're excited about seeing that. But milestones will be housed in this particular area, the CTLS parent platform. Until then, you can reach out to your schools and get it. The principals will be, they'll have that information as far as how the distribution of that will go and how you can get access to it until that time comes. But we're excited to hear the update from Dr. Melanda, who is our new Chief Academic Officer, that CTLS parent is getting ready to get rolled out. So we're excited about that. Let's see what else we have going on. Bus drivers. Now, if you need a job, I got a job for you. I have a job for you. Bus drivers, we have just increased the pay per hour, an additional $5.25 an hour. That means that as it relates to bus drivers, we are in Cobb County intentional about making sure that we can close the gap in hiring in regards to bus drivers. Many of you have reached out to me in regards to your concerns around, the bus being late, your kids being late to school and things of that nature. And we are in a shortage, just like every other Metro Atlanta district and just like schools nationwide. And so we are doing our part to make sure that we incentivize having more drivers available so that we can at least minimize the disruption that we currently have in regards to it. And so the Board of Education approved an additional $5.25 per hour. That's across the board for all bus drivers that are currently in place, and then for those that are coming in. So we're excited about that, and we're hopeful that this incentive will allow to help us close that gap and get our kids to school safely and on time. So we're excited about that opportunity. There is a video that was shown yesterday in our meeting, and it's been released because I've actually seen it through the communication portals, promoting the need for drivers. And so I hope that you guys take a look at it, forward it. If you know of someone that is interested in the job, please make sure that you reach out to them and let them know, hey, you can drive a bus for Cobb County. We will train you. We will make sure you get your CDL license that you will need in order to drive. And in addition to that, one of the suggestions that I mentioned to the superintendent on yesterday in the meeting was partnering with Chattahoochee Tech. They currently have a logistics program, certification program, and CDL training and certification at Chattahoochee Tech, and that might be a potential pipeline that we can utilize in order to make sure that we are bringing people in to support our children and support the education of our children. I think it was mentioned that 70% of the students in Cobb County School District rely on transportation to get to school. So in other words, we can't have school without transportation. So we are in critical need right now. And so please, 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 if you know of anyone that has some time, retirees, anyone that needs flexible schedules, please reach out to the Cobb County School District Transportation Department and see how we can get you plugged in. So that was a good thing. Cooper Middle School. We are excited about Cooper Middle School. They are going to get a new marquee sign out front. And so we had to approve a permanent utility easement for Greystone Power to provide power to the new signage. And so that happened on yesterday. So we're excited about that. Principal Rawls is there this year. We have a new principal at Cooper, and we're excited about his engagement and impact that he's going to bring to the Cooper Middle School community. But again, new marquee sign is coming. Just approved an easement for some utility, and so we're excited about that. Speaking of new principals, this is not post 3, but it is very close. New principal at Osborne High School was appointed on yesterday, and I couldn't be more excited about this particular appointment. Troy Jones is being welcomed home back to Osborne. So we're excited that Troy Jones is able to join the leadership team and serve as principal of Osborne High School. Those of you that have followed Osborne for a while and have graduated and matriculated through, you may remember Troy Jones. He was a former head football coach at Osborne High School. And so it's exciting to see Troy Jones in the different capacities in which he has led throughout the years, from football coach to SLI to special education administrator and assistant principal. And so we're excited to see his growth and matriculation as well into his new leadership role as the principal of of Osborne High School. And so thank you, Troy, for serving, and we appreciate you. And we look to see the great things that is going to happen over at Osborne and over at CETA and all that great stuff. So thank you. We had summer graduation. Over 100 students graduated this summer. And so, I'm excited that we have that opportunity for those students that may need additional time and a little more support to get through the course content and still graduate. We're excited about that. That happened over the summer. A safety update was given by the superintendent that Centegix, which replaces Alert Point, it has been installed in all of our schools. And by the first day of school, all the admin teams have been trained, and so we're excited about that. Now, for the next stage is all of our teachers will start getting their badges and training for our teachers and educators in the building and support staff within the building. So we're excited about the next stage of the Centegix plan being rolled out across the district as well. Let's see what else we had. We had milestones presentation, so please go back and look at that. There was a lot of information that was given from the chief academic officer, as well as the chief strategist and accountability officer, John Floresta. So please take a look at that. Again, these numbers serve as a baseline. Since, a few years ago when COVID first hit, we didn't have milestones. And so the following year, the participation rate was very low. And so this year, I believe we were over 90% participation. And so the numbers that we have right now will serve as our new baseline. And so we encourage the superintendent and his team to determine what the accountability measure and what the goal for improvement will be from there. And so we're excited to see what that plan will be in the coming months as they come back to present that information to us. Let's see what else we have. Lockheed. Lockheed came and gave us a presentation because you may recall, if you're following the Board of Commissioners meetings and then the Board of Education meetings at the same time, you may be familiar with this, but Lockheed is asking for, I think it's a I don't have it in front of me, something $billion tax credit. And it's a bond. And so they came and presented and gave us the presentation on yesterday, and we were able to engage and talk about how that affects Cobb County School District. And one of the things that was mentioned, or that I asked in reference to that, was how do we as a school district partner with Lockheed Martin in regards to workforce development. I'm always looking for how we can really streamline workforce development for our students. Here in Cobb County, we have a lot of STEM schools, and Lockheed Martin has also, through the years, annually given over $90,000 to our schools, whether it be here in the city of Marietta public schools or Cobb County, in regards to supporting STEM and our STEM efforts. And so I asked about what do we need to do, because I was yesterday at an earlier function, and State School Superintendent Richard Woods talked about the State Department creating curriculum that aligns with major industry and major businesses within your communities, where we could create a pathway of certification for our students in high school, that they can leave high school and work directly in that particular industry. There's a skilled pathway. And so I'm looking to see how we can get something like that happen as they are bidding on their new projects. And if they get them, it will be a big blessing to Cobb County and to Lockheed Martin, one of our larger employers here in Cobb County. And so it's going to be more jobs and more opportunities for our students. So I'm excited about that. So again, that was those major items that was discussed on yesterday. I also want to highlight that open houses are being announced at your schools. I believe Lindley is next Thursday. Lindley Middle School, rather, is next Thursday. Pebblebrooks is maybe the following week. Just be on the lookout for those. I want everyone to attend, whether it's in person, whether it's virtual. Please attend those open houses and get engaged. PTA, PTSA, we're in our membership drives right now. Please pay your dues and get engaged with the local PTA and the local PTSA, which is your Parent Teacher Association or Parent Student Association. PTA is the largest advocacy or child advocacy organization in the nation. So please get engaged and sign up. There's a nominal, membership fee. A lot of different activities that are for the parents and for the students and for the teachers. And so we are encouraging everyone to do that. If you are at a school every school has a PTA, we are encouraging every staff member at the schools to make sure that you are a member no later than mid-September. By the time we leave to go on our fall break, we need to all be members of the PTA so that our membership reflects full 100% participation from staff and from our teachers and educators and principals and admin, because our schools get membership awards for those particular, and they get recognized nationally for those awards. So we want to make sure that we are encouraging that as well. Principal advisory councils, find out what's going on with that, when those different opportunities are meeting, where you can engage with the principal directly in regards to the culture and climate of the school and be engaged in that process. Very, very important. Also, August the 22nd, early release day. August the 22nd, it's coming up already. It looks like we just got in, but we already got an early release day, and then we're going to have fall break in September. So everyone be mindful of the time, but August the 22nd will be an early release day. Now, let's see. If you've been following things happening in the community, you may have seen that Amana Academy, which is a public charter school, it is housed at the Girl Scouts compound over there off of Veterans Memorial Highway. They just had a ribbon cutting, and their school is open, and they seem to be thriving really well. So that is a potential option. They are a STEM school for our kindergarten, I think first, second. I'm not sure how many grades they're feeding originally. As setup is getting set up, but reach out to Amana Academy. That may be a potential and a possibility for those in the community, as well as it is right here in Mableton. South Cobb High School football starts this Friday night, tonight, 7:30. I believe they're playing Carver High School out of Atlanta Public Schools. And so 7:30, South Cobb High School football begins. I do want to mention this about high school football games because so many people come to support the games. Let's be mindful. If you have middle school children, if you have elementary school children, that we just don't drop them off and leave. Especially at Pebblebrook, there is policy that we cannot drop children off and then just leave and then come pick them up at the end of the games. If they're in middle school, elementary school, they need to be accompanied by the responsible adult, not just any adult, but the adult that's responsible for the child. Middle school, high school, middle school and elementary. So we want to make sure that we are clear on that, because I would hate for you to drop the child off and then leave it with the expectation that they got into the game and then they get turned around. So let's make sure that we are mindful of some of these safety protocols that we have in place to ensure that everyone is having a safe and enjoyable time at these extracurricular activities at our schools. Also, our sheriff, we want to thank Sheriff Craig Owens for supporting Pebblebrook High School. He has given us tickets to 3-on-3 basketball games. So I believe our basketball team and the girls and the boys and some others will be joining our sheriff on Sunday. So parents, if you are in that category and you receive a permission slip, please make sure that you turn that back in to Dr. G so that you can be accounted for. But we're excited about that partnership with our county sheriff, Sheriff Owens, for supporting and providing additional opportunities for our students. Speaking of Craig Owens, our sheriff, there's a new satellite office on Mapleton Parkway as well. And so we're excited to have his engagement and involvement in the area. So they just opened up a satellite office next to the new fire station on Mapleton Parkway. If you may recall, that was the old public safety building. And so we are thankful to have your presence here in the southern portion of the county, right off of Old Alabama Road in South Gordon there, right at Mapleton Parkway. So thank you. Communities and schools. Communities in schools is in several of our schools and has expanded to more schools this year. And so we're thankful for the leadership of Natalie Rutledge. She's the executive director. But she did send me a notification that Garrett Middle School is in need of volunteers. We've started our Reality U financial literacy program for our middle school students and our high school students. And Garrett Middle School is probably one of the first out of the box. And so we're excited about getting that program to our students, but we will need volunteers to help us assist us with that program. So if you volunteered in the past, or if you desire to do that in the future, please reach out to Natalie Rutledge with Communities and Schools, and she'll be able to get you plugged into how to sign up. There's a Sign Up Genius. I actually have it on my Facebook personal page. You can scroll through and you can find how to sign up for Reality U. And so let's see what else we have out there. City of Austell. Yes, we have great leadership in the city of Austell. And so Mayor Ollie Clemens and Ms. Valerie, Mayor Pro Tem Valerie Anderson, we are so thankful for your leadership in the city of Austell. Mr. Devin, Myrick, listen, we appreciate your continual engagement and support of our schools, specifically those schools within the city limits of the city of Austell. We can't do it without you, and so we appreciate you. But they are having a back to school event. We're not done with back to school events yet. I believe it is this coming weekend. So please be on the lookout. If you're in the city of Austell, please go to the city website. Check out that information is on their social media, and so that you can get plugged into that back to school event as they continue to do their part to support our schools and our children within the city of Austell. In fact, the city of Powder Springs, they're also doing great things to help support schools in their particular area. And I'll give you guys an update on that as it is being rolled out sometime shortly. So maybe next month, I will give updates to the city of Powder Springs. But in addition to that, talk about what their support is to our community schools and how they continue to support our community schools. So we thank you to our municipalities in Post 3 that continue to go above and beyond to support the students and our schools. Let's see. I believe that is all of the everything that's not everything, but majority of the things that are happening in regards to the board meeting, in regards to what's happening within our community. So it's time to go through public comment quickly. We had quite a few in the in both sessions, and so I'm going to quickly run through that, and just to give you an idea of what is the voices are speaking in regards to our community and our community schools, challenging us to be better. And I always believe there's always room to be better, and so that those voices were there. Those voices of praise for the work that we are doing, and so we're excited to always have the community come and speak to the Board of Education and share what's on your hearts and mind. And so I appreciate that. So let's see. Our first speaker at our board work session was Sally Grubbs, and she spoke in regards to the use of pronouns. She's not in favor of the use of pronouns for our children, and she wanted to come and speak concerns in regards to that particular issue that she has seen, I guess, become prevalent within the last month or so. Grand jury report. So the second person, Heather Tolley-Bauer, there you go. She's with Watching the Funds Cobb, and she's in post 4. And she had concerns in regards to the grand jury report and offered some, not just her concern, but also some suggestions on how to move forward in regards to that report. And so that was mentioned in public comment as well. Number 3 was Monica Delancey. Everyone knows Monica Delancey down here. She is We Thrive on Riverside, and she's also a parent support person here with the Cobb County School District. And she came to speak to the Board of Education in regards to a concern with a parent in the Smyrna area who was evicted the 3rd day of school. And so that family was displaced, but they were able to provide her assistance through Must Ministries. And so Monica wanted to share that. She also had concerns in regards to the naming school discussion. Me and Monica have discussed what that looks like. And so we are working together to, along with some civic groups that we currently have here in the Cobb County area, to look at that particular board policy and see how we can strengthen it and be more responsive to the community here in post 3. So thank you, Monica, for your continued engagement. The fourth person, she's a Nickajack parent, Miss Merrill Arnett, and she came to speak to us in regards to safety concerns and the training requirements for armed personnel, requesting that they be post-certified, that they wear uniforms, and that we promote safe gun storage as a district. I believe Atlanta Public Schools has started doing that, and so that was some of the advisement that came from Ms. Arnett. So thank you, Ms. Arnett, for coming and speaking. Our fifth person, Miss Alicia Watts, Belize Watts, I'm sorry. Alicia came, and she's a Cobb parent as well, and she came and spoke in support of the pay raise for the pay rate increase for our bus drivers, and but she also had some security concerns that she wanted to speak to. Some of the same things that we're hearing over and over in regards to making sure that they're uniformed, make sure that they have post certification, and suggested that we rewrite the policy with more detailed language in how we are going to roll out that particular initiative. The sixth person to speak was Laura Judge. Ms. Judge has been a staple at the meeting speaking, and we thank you for coming again. She is with Watching the Funds Cobb and Moms Demand Action League, and she wanted to advocate for the Be Smart program and also an increase in school counselors, and she wanted to mention strategics and include local public safety jurisdictions in our safety plan. So reaching out to our municipal police, our Cobb County police, our sheriff, so that in the event of emergency, everyone is on the same page when they all come to support the school if there's an emergency. And so that including that in the safety plan as well. And so she also wanted to know how much this expanded security measure was going to cost the district. So thank you, Laura, for coming. Number 7 was Miss Karen Sunderman. Yes, Miss Sunderman has come, and she wanted to speak to the district in regards to the excellent work that we're doing in regards to academics and things of that nature. And so we thank you for coming and speaking, Miss Karen, and we appreciate it. Last person to speak for the day session was Pamela Reardon, and she is a community leader. I believe she said her children went to Walton High School, and let's see. She wanted to review the facts as she sees it. So, and it was in regards to the CDC reorganizing, some of her concerns around the quarantine and no vaccine. And so she came and shared her thoughts in regards to some of the past things and some of the, and just reviewing facts as she would see them. All right, the night session. We have Miss Toba Ringland, of course. Listen, so Toba is a staple as well, and we appreciate her continued advocacy and support for our students with special needs and those that have behavior supports. And so we appreciate you for coming and always advocating for students and keeping that in the forefront of the meeting as we continue to move forward to ensure that we are providing the best service for all of our students. And so thank you for coming and advocating. The second person to come and speak was Jennifer Susko. Jennifer Susko was advocating for the Cobb Leadership Academy. Those that attended the Cobb Leadership Academy, my children were a part of it. And it is a great program, but she was specifically advocating for the Soapbox Challenge. And that was probably one of my favorite events. Myself, our our Chief Leadership Officer, Sherry Hill, has come and participated in that. Several principals have come and participated in that. And it's just an excellent program. And she was asking, would that be coming back? And so it is my hope that that program does continue. I believe some great social studies teachers and administrators are part of that. One in particular, Campbell High School's Samika Samuels. I remember being a part of that, and several others. Miss Holly Rose over at Tapp Middle School. And so thank you guys for that leadership program. It has been a blessing to my children. And so, yes, I'm hoping that we can continue to see that come and grow and flourish in our school district. The third person to speak was Miss Shannon Deason. And she wanted to speak in regards to the CRT ban and divisive concepts. And she was advocating for the social studies department head to make sure that our teachers and staff have the support they need as we're going into a new year, because of all of the different laws around divisive concepts and things of that nature, making sure that they have the right supports to adequately provide quality education for our students. Also, the next person, I am not going to attempt to mess up your name, but Minya Noft. She actually lives out there in Powder Springs. Her children, I believe, attend Kemp. And she wanted us, and she advised a policy change in regards to the bullying policy. And so she mentioned two of them, and she also emailed me. So I do have that, and we'll take a look into that as well. And the next person, Mr. Michael Garza, we thank you for coming and speaking to the Board of Education as well. He has some concerns around our armed personnel and that school safety policy that we recently implemented. And he asked, will those armed officers or armed personnel be involved in discipline? And then he also advocated for gun safety as well. So thank you, Michael Garza, for continuing to come and speak to the board. Number 6, Mr. Leslie Litt came, and he wanted to speak against CRT, the 1619 project. And so he's not in favor of those things, and he wanted to make sure that we kept that as the order of business for the Cobb County School District. Let's see. Miss Carolyn Hoko, she came and spoke, in regards to a series of issues that she had some concerns with that even dated back to the walkout in 2018 when the students in several of our high schools, they formed a peaceful protest in support of I believe it might have been the Parkland shooting back in 2018 and advocating for gun safety. But she was also concerned with the removal of the No Place for Hate curriculum within the district. She was advocating for the Be Smart curriculum to be implemented and the need for more counselors. And she was also speaking against the armed officers in Cobb School. She doesn't see that as necessary. Okay, number 8, Miss Latona Disher. Please forgive me, Latonia. She came to talk to the district about milestone scores, and she was saying that things were going great, and she was glad to see the progress of it. And it actually says "job well done" written right here, and gave praise to the district for our forward movement. Then it was followed by Miss Judy Sardin, who also just reiterated exactly what Latonia said. And when she got up, she said, "I'm going to reiterate what Latonia said." So, and she pretty much discussed kudos for performance within the Cobb County School District. Thank you, ladies, for coming and sharing. Number 10 was Elise Paquette. Please forgive me if I mispronounced that. But she came to pray and pray at the school district. So she used her time to pray for students in the school district. The next person was Matt Ritzel. Let's see, Matt. Please forgive me if I mispronounced that. He came and he also is not in favor of teacher use of gender pronouns and was asking if that was a policy and and gave his thoughts in regards to gender pronouns. The next person was Melissa Martin, and she desired details to the safety policy again. And she mentioned the video was shown to kids on the first day of school in regards to how to protect yourselves in the event of emergency. And she had some challenges with that. And she also requested a town hall to discuss public safety within our schools as well. She also questioned not having the director of social studies in place as of yet. The next person to speak was Nicole Atkins, and she came and with her fifth grade daughter and actually gave her daughter's pronouns, which are they and them. And she was advocating against the safety policy of untrained gun carrying officers or personnel within the buildings. And so again, you see, we have a spectrum of thought process of people that are coming to our school district. So, but we appreciate you sharing. 14 is Charles Cole. He's a graduate of the Cobb County School District. He's a graduate of Harrison High School in the Harrison area. And he wanted to speak against the safety policy as well, and was looking forward to what the administrative policy would say in regards to how we would implement the safety policy, or how the superintendent would implement the safety policy. And so he had some concerns in regards to arming officers and just having additional and just having that untrained, post-certified officers in the buildings with our families. Let's see. Lastly, we had Brittany Gurley come, and she was in support of the pay rate increase for our bus drivers. And so, but she had concerns with the safety policy in regards to the policy language, and she was also concerned with some of the liability that comes along with not having post-certified officers. Because part of being post-certified, you get qualified immunity status in the event of a situation. But without having that, the question now becomes who carries that liability should there be an incident. And so these are definitely great things to consider as we are moving forward. And I'll be actually researching that myself because I like to be knowledgeable on some of the things that are presented before us, so that I can be an active participant when it's time to engage in some of these very challenging topics that we're dealing with currently. So that's it. Is there anything? Let me check my chat. Is there anything that we need to discuss? Y'all doing all right? Okay. And as always, you can always, once you watch this again, if you have questions and comments, you can go ahead and add them to the chat, and I will make sure that I answer those and get back to you in regards to some of the questions and comments that you may have. As always, you can always reach me via email, trade, TRE, the number 4, cobbschools@gmail.com, or you may reach me at my Cobb County School District Board of Education email, which is thutchins.boardmember@cobbk12.org. And if you go to the Cobb County School District website, cobbk12.org, I believe it's /board, and you'll see all the board members, the 7 board members there. And if you click on Leroy Trey Hutchins, rather, you're going to see my phone number there. You're going to see my email address. But please reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I can help navigate the process and getting the information that you need to move forward. All right. That seems to be all that we have for today. So we are, again, ever so thankful for you guys and for your continued engagement in this process. And as always, we will continue to provide updates as they are available and as they come to us. And we will always continue to update and advocate for having this particular platform available for each of you. All right. I thank you for your time, and this will probably be replayed again sometime on Sunday. But until then, you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Parents, check your CTLS and make sure your kids don't have any homework. had a parent teacher call already this week. So yeah, let's get engaged. Let's get on it. So thank you. And as always, love you guys, and we'll see you soon.